Well, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tim Williams. We're here to break down today's four-game MLB DraftKings slate. We're doing some spring training breakdowns. We're doing regular season breakdowns. I'll be doing content all season long. So if you're into that, like and subscribe. I don't want to waste any of your time. Let's just jump right into it. First off, we got the Mets going against the Marlins. You got Joey Lucchesi going against Sandy Alcantara. We'll start with the Mets side with Joey. He's pitched 2 innings so far in spring. That obviously won't sustain, but overall, the Mets average-wise, they're 15th in the league with a 246 average, 19th in on-base percentage, 23rd in home runs, 21st in stolen bases, and 30th in strikeouts. So the Mets aren't really striking out a lot. They're actually hitting league average so far in spring training. They're getting on base. They're not really hitting home runs. They're not really stealing bases either. So to me, it looks like it's just still kind of early for the Mets. I think that those numbers will improve. Pitching wise as a whole, 4th in ERA, 6th in WHIP. So those are great. Those two numbers correlate well together. 28th in home runs allowed and 25th in strikeouts. So they're not really striking a ton of guys out as a whole, but they're pitching efficiently and they're not giving up the long ball, which is great to see right now. Guys in play I like for the Mets are McNeil, Lindor, Conforto, and Pete Alonso, respectively. Those guys look great. Over on the Marlins side, Sandy Alcantara, 7.2 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 8 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Has not given up an earned run yet. That is definitely not sustainable with all those walks given. I like him overall as a pitcher. I don't like this matchup really. Hitting wise for the Marlins, they're 27th in average, 27th in on-base percentage. So nothing weird there. They're just not good at hitting. 26th in home runs, 24th in stolen bases, and 25th in strikeouts. They're not really striking out either, but they're not really doing anything offensively. Pitching wise, they're 1st in ERA, which, blew my mind. 11th in WHIP. So to me, that means that ERA will probably balloon up a little bit. 30th in home runs allowed, which is great. If they can keep that, remember, this is a playoff team last year. If they can keep the ball in the ballpark, they have a pretty good shot at maybe getting a wild card, but it's too early to say. And then 21st in strikeouts. So, they're striking some guys out. They're not really efficient at it, but overall, like a decent team, not really a DFS sexy team, I guess. But guys in play on the hitting side would be Cooper, Anderson, Aguilar, Marte. I like those guys. Moving on. Rays against the Pirates. You got Tyler Glasnow going against Mitch Keller, the prospect, the young gun, finally getting a shot at the rotation. We'll start with the Rays here. Tyler Glasnow looked really damn good in his last start. He has 10 strikeouts in the spring so far. He's given up 2 earned runs. He's given up a home run, although that home run was kind of a cheapie, so I wouldn't look into that really. But he looks like in a pretty good spot here. Probably be the highest owned pitcher. Average wise and hitting wise for the Rays, average, they're hitting 22nd. On base percentage, they're 20th, which is, little less than league average for both of those. 19th in home runs, 17th in stolen bases, and 10th overall in strikeouts. So they are striking out, but they're not really getting that average. They're not really getting on base as much as I'm sure they'd like to. Pitching wise, they're 27th ERA, so they haven't really looked that great. WHIP, they're 19th. So I would think that the ERA will get better as time goes on. They're 4th overall in home runs allowed, so they're just throwing the ball right over the plate. Guys are hitting it. Guys are seeing it. They're 27th in strikeouts, so there's a lot of improvements that need to happen for this team who did go to the World Series last year, and I'm sure they will adjust. Guys in play I like here are Margot, Berceau, Franco, and Austin Meadows hitting leadoff. Overall, I'm not really too high on the Rays today, but they definitely look like an okay option against the Pirates. Mitch Keller pitching here, 3 innings pitched in the spring, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Don't pay attention to that ERA. I know it's high. So I don't really love the matchup here just because Mitch Keller's so young. But Pirates as a whole, hitting wise, they're 18th in the league, 24th in on-base percentage, 12th in home runs, 15th in stolen bases, and 10th in strikeouts. So they're striking out a lot, but they're actually, they're hitting the ball out of the ballpark. So we tend to see that with teams that are high in strikeouts. They're usually hitting a lot of home runs. They're not afraid to steal bases, which is great. It's still early on in spring training. I definitely don't trust that, but numbers don't lie. So pitching wise, they're 9th overall in ERA, 24th in WHIP, which is not good. So that suggests that ERA should balloon up for sure. 11th in home runs allowed. So they are giving up some home runs, but they are striking guys out as well. They're 11th in the league in strikeouts. Guys in play I like for the Pirates to hopefully get you a home run will be Anthony Alford, Cabron Hayes, Adam Frazier, and Reynolds, respectively. Moving on to the Twins and the Red Sox, you got Matt Shoemaker going against Erod. Nice to see Erod back for sure. On the Twin side, Matt's been pitching the ball pretty well. 6.1 innings pitched, 3 hits, giving up a home run, struck out 3. He's not really going to strike out a ton of guys. He's more of like a matchup play. Going against the Red Sox, I probably wouldn't go there. Hitting wise for the Twins, they're 23rd overall in average, 29th in on-base percentage, 23rd in home runs, 26th in stolen bases, 27th in total strikeouts. So they're not really striking out. They're not really walking. They're not really doing anything. So I don't know what the hell's wrong with them there. It is spring training. So pitching wise, they're 26th overall in ERA. Whip, they're 21st. Home runs allowed, they're 18th and 11th in strikeouts. So they are striking guys out. So pitchers are doing their job there. They're just not really keeping the ball in the ballpark. They're walking too many guys. The only hitters I really like in today's matchup for the Twins would be Donaldson and Cruz. Moving on to the Red Sox, you have Erod pitching, probably one of the safer bets on the slate. 6.2 innings pitched. He's looked pretty good so far in spring. 6 hits, 2 home runs given up, so be careful there. He hasn't walked a guy, and he struck out 8 guys. The Red Sox, I think, have a big chip on their shoulders, and they're out to prove everybody wrong this year. Hitting wise, Red Sox look damn good. They are hot. They're 8th in average, 8th in on-base percentage. So it's great to see those two correlate right there. 3rd in home runs, 29th in stolen bases. So this all makes sense. They're not stealing bases, but they are hitting for home runs. They are hitting for average. Strikeouts, they're right in the middle of the league here. Pitching wise, they're 17th overall in ERA. Whip, they're 15th. Home runs allowed, 24th. Strikeouts, they're 19th. So if they can keep the ball in the ballpark, which they have been so far in spring training, with their average pitching, they could go very far. Guys in play here for the Red Sox, I like hitting wise. Kike Hernandez, Marlon Gonzalez is on fire. Christian Vasquez is a safe catcher option. Bobby Dahlbeck, maybe my favorite cheap play here. He's hitting 9th. He's probably going to go low owned. This guy could leverage you in GPPs. And then Devers is in there just because he's a safe option. Lastly, we got the Yankees Blue Jays, Jordan Montgomery, the lefty, going against Thomas Hatch. So it looks like the Blue Jays are kind of going with the bullpen game here. Yankees side, Montgomery's looked pretty good so far in spring. He's not really striking guys out. He's, it's kind of average. So it could be, I don't know. I don't know if I would go to Montgomery, but overall for hitting wise for the Yankees, they're 25th in average, 25th in on base percentage, 4th in home runs. They're actually stealing the ball more than I thought they would. They're 11th in steals and then 4th in strikeouts. It makes sense there. They're striking out a ton. They're hitting a ton of home runs. They're not really getting on base, not really hitting for average. Pitching wise, the Yankees are looking pretty damn good, actually, as long as they could stay healthy. They're 3rd in ERA, they're 3rd in whip, home runs allowed, they're 9th. So they are giving the ball up a little bit here, but they're 2nd in strikeouts. They look to be a safe bet. They look good this year. Guys in play I like hitting wise are DJ Torres, Hicks, Bruce, Stanton. I like Hicks because he takes walks and he has power. Probably going to go low owned when you talk about guys like Stanton and you talk about like Judge and LeMahieu. Bruce is in there just because he's been hitting the ball pretty well and he's hitting like 5th or something like that. Blue Jays, Thomas Hatch. We don't really know a ton about this kid. He's just kind of a bullpen guy last season. He's pitched 2 innings, 2 clean innings, given up 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. So there's a lot of question marks here. Overall, Blue Jays hitting wise, they look pretty damn scary. They're not really striking out a ton. They're 29th in strikeouts, but everything else, they're 11th in average, 6th in on-base percentage, 19th in home runs, and then 2nd overall in stolen bases. So they're not afraid to steal bases. Pitching wise, they're 5th overall in the league. The whip, they're the top at 1.04. So they're not really walking a ton of guys. They're not really giving up a ton of hits. 27th in home runs allowed, 7th in strikeouts. Excuse me. That is kind of scary. This team looks pretty damn good. Guys in play I like here are Biggio, Bichette, and Talese, Rowdy Talese. All those guys are good at hitting lefties. So they are in play. Look for the Blue Jays to be kind of have some sneaky value, at least in the beginning of this season here. We could take a look at Some of the lineups here real quick. Like I said, I like McNeil, Lindor, Conforto, Alonso. Smith hit a home run, but his average kind of stinks. The rest of the guys I don't really care too much in GPPs. On the other side here, for the Marlins, Dickerson, Marte, Aguilar, Cooper, they're in play. Anderson as well. Alfaro could be a sneaky catcher play. He's not really hitting for power. He's not really doing anything but just kind of getting a base hit here and there. So those are the guys I like there. Here we got Meadows. Margot I like because he can steal bases. Wendell hasn't really been doing too much, so I don't like that here. Rousseau's better against left-handed pitching, but he is hitting fourth, and somebody's got to score runs in this lineup. Franco I like as well. And then on this side for the Pirates, like I said, Frazier, Hayes, Reynolds I like here. We'll have to look into Moran here. He's got a lot of power. Polanco as well is a decent option. And then Alford as well, who is leading the team in home runs actually. And then Minnesota, Boston, Arez, who has been getting, base hits here and there. So I guess he's an option at second, but Donaldson, Cruz, it's about all I like. And then Erod, the safe pitcher here, Kike, Verdugo's been slumping. Martinez has been slumping. So I like to look toward the bottom of this order. Actually, I like Vasquez. I like Dahlbeck. I like Gonzalez there. And then Yankees, Toronto, DJ's obviously safe. He's going to be high owned. So, fading him could be risky, could be rewarding. I don't know. Judge has been hitting the ball, but he's not really, getting on base or anything like that. Hicks is a decent value here. Stanton, Torres, I like. Bruce, if you're really trying to get contrarian. Sanchez is that home run power. Frazier's been pretty hot, actually. So there's some good options there. We just don't know, Toronto's pitching is actually pretty good, so the matchup isn't great. And then on this side, Springer, Semien, they're okay guys. They're still slumping out the gate. I like Bichette here. Hernandez's power isn't really shown it yet. Talise is good against left-handed pitching, which they're facing a lefty here. Biggio I like because he might not hit average-wise, but he does get on base and he will steal and he will have home run power here. And Grishik actually hits lefties very well, and that's something to keep an eye out for. That is it. My name is Tim Williams. We'll be doing breakdowns all spring training long. If this helped you, if you like this content, if you dig it, hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I'll be doing content all season long. I look forward to chatting with you guys about baseball and DFS in general. So let's go out there and try to win. Subscribe. Don't miss any of this future content. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.